Hi, I'm Rocco Million with Real Progressives. I want to talk about we the people have the power collectively. When labor unites in solidarity, we can't lose. That's, no matter how unlikely it is that we do unite in solidarity, you have to understand that the majority has the power. When labor unites in solidarity, we cannot lose, okay? All labor has to do is put our hands in our pockets and the capitalist class is whooped. All right, so I want everyone to keep this in mind when people say that we have no power, because that's what the ruling class, they're depending on the pessimists, they're depending on the nihilists to keep us from, understanding our full potential, from talking and, focusing on what needs to be done to help root problems. And so the thing is we the people have all the power collectively. If the labor class, if the working class would unite in solidarity, we can strike for one day, a general strike, and watch America grind to a halt, go to work the very next day, but having demonstrated our ability to organize and shut America down. Then we can leverage that capability to get our demands met. It's that simple. The ruling class never gives us justice, okay? We've always had to collectively force the issue. Nixon didn't want to give us the EPA. People power made it happen, okay? They didn't want to stop the Vietnam War. Same thing. People power made it stop. In the Great Depression, labor united in solidarity. They rose up, occupied the factories, wouldn't let anybody work, okay? So the ruling class had to give us the full employment policies of the New Deal, or else there would have been a revolution. All right. We, the people, have all the power. It doesn't matter about, we know that the elections are rigged. Okay. The DNC told us in open court on many occasions that they have a First Amendment right to rig the primary. All right. We know for a fact Congress has an approval rating lower than herpes, yet they get reelected over 90% of the time. All right. So, the exit polls are off by huge margins. All right. And so we know for a fact America is a banana republic. This is true. All right. But it doesn't matter. We still socially own our government. We are guaranteed government for, of, and by the people. Okay, but if we accept our government working for the private purpose of capital at society's expense, then they're going to give us fascism every time. So it's up to us to not accept that, to understand what's possible. So the only way you do that is by learning this revolutionary ideology, or not ideology, a revolutionary description, MMT. It describes our actual operational reality in a nonpartisan, non-ideological way, from the macro perspective. Okay, so we can easily see, no matter where you come from, Republican, Marxist, Green, Dem, wherever. Article 1, Section 8 is a fact. Congress is mandated to tax, mint and tax, to provide for the general welfare of society. That's just operational reality. That's a fact. All right. So I don't care what your where you come from on the ideological spectrum. You can't deny that our government, we empower a government to sit in authority over everything to maintain the general welfare of society. Okay. And so once you understand that, then you understand government isn't revenue constrained. Government doesn't need profit. It's right there, Article 1, Section 8. It mandates the government mint and tax to provide for the general welfare of society. So government, all federal spending is brand new dollars created by congressional decree from thin air, okay, at will. All right. The money part of the equation don't matter. That's always infinite for the federal government. All that matters is we have the real resources available to buy with that money. What government needs is real resources like infrastructure, labor for the military, legal systems, sanitation systems, etc. So government needs these real resources to satisfy its constitutional mandate to the general welfare. All right, and it uses taxation to create unemployment so that it can provision society with those real resources using paid employment. So it's just taxation and spending is just a social construct. All right, it's just a means of production. Dollars are just a law to satisfy tax. We can't run out of laws, so we can't run out of dollars. All right, it's about the real resources. So once you understand that, you understand that poverty, unemployment, and even imperialism are just political choices. They are not operational necessities. And we can force our government at any time to satisfy its constitutional mandate to the general welfare, first and foremost. That's regardless of our federal revenues, regardless of the exchange rate, regardless of the Federal Reserve, regardless of the markets, foreign or domestic. Any day we can unite in solidarity and force our socially owned government to satisfy its constitutional mandate to the general welfare of society. There's nothing standing in our way. It's operationally possible. All right, poverty and imperialism and unemployment, these are just political choices. They're not operational necessity. So we have to understand MMT, our macroeconomic reality, so that we can unite in solidarity and force our socially owned government to satisfy the public purpose first and foremost, as it's mandated to do so by the Constitution. So it's real easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.